Wow, does this chart hold the secret to when and how this absolutely explosive crypto cycle is about to begin? In fact, it looks as though Bitcoin is not taking the lead in this massive cycle. And as well, we'll show you exactly today what needs to happen for this rally to remain intact, because there is a much different scenario we're still watching. And guys, could this momentum continue to swing downwards like we've been talking about for a few days with this EMA ribbon collapsing on the tops here? Does this mean there is some downside to be expected or not? We'll show you a lot of different charts here. Wow, and Ethereum is surely beating Bitcoin in many ways. Guys, we'll show you why this is more likely to send us into a massive rally than just Bitcoin's price. And as well, guys, we're not going to cover the Twitter hacks yesterday. As you know, never send people your Bitcoin expecting to get more back. It's always a scam. But guys, I want to talk a little bit about this article because I think it's a little misleading. And as well, these external indicators to the Bitcoin market that you need to be paying attention to, guys. This is huge. If you want to maximize your profit, this is something you cannot be ignoring. A trend that will continue, and I'm using this in my long-term plan to 100% make the most gainers as possible and to maximize my gains. The juice. Let's dive in. Wow, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another extremely webisode. We have a lot to get into in this video, but as well, we do have a lot of announcements as well that many of you are probably going to be interested in because this directly affects you. For one, guys, as you can see here, John did receive his ledger that he won on the channel that he tweeted out last night. And if you're interested in getting the Ledger Nano X that you see here, this is the absolute last day to get 20% off, guys. If you really want one and you want it now, this is your last chance to get it. All you have to do is choose your coin and put in that code at checkout, and you can get 20% off when you do the checkout there. You can see here, CryptoLorian actually did that as well. You put in the code and you get a nice discount on the ledger. But specifically what we're going to cover this video is just how this bull cycle is going to start. Now, many people for the past few months have really just been predicating the entire bull cycle on Bitcoin exploding. But guys, these specific altcoins you need to be looking at because they're going to play a huge role in the coming cycle in general. And as you may know, this trend that goes back to the beginning of Bitcoin dominance decreasing, I think is going to come in very strong. And I think it also is possible that we return down to those 40%, potentially lower levels, especially during the cycle, even if it is temporary. But guys, you need to be paying attention to it. Okay, as I've been saying, most of my profits from 2017 were from altcoins, and my portfolio is up a lot right now because of the investments that I've chosen over the past 6 to 8 months specifically to keep adding into. And my point of saying that is even in only the past, maybe even half a year, I'm already seeing a ton of rewards based on what I invested in. Obviously, I think it's incredibly important to diversify. I've been preaching that since the beginning of the channel, always to diversify. And I'll tell you from experience, over the past 3 years, that is by far how I made the most gains in my portfolio. Okay guys, huge. We're gonna get in more detail with that throughout the video, but as well, if you're interested in winning these ledgers, make sure to hit the like, subscribes, dings, and we can jump in to some TA and then more on altcoins as well. So guys, I just want to start off with Bitcoin because we have much more interesting stuff to cover in regards to these altcoins and just some other information in general about this massive bull cycle incoming. With Bitcoin, we want to get a daily close above 9160 roughly, because if we don't, it'll be the first time since the end of April, since we've been in this ascending triangle. If we don't get a close above 9160, about $80 higher than we currently are, it will be the first time since we've been in this pattern in over 2.5 months that we won't get a daily close above this trend line. Okay, the most touches by far on this time frame is this line right here, and if we don't get a close above exactly about 91.50 or roughly about $70 to $80 above where we are currently, if we don't get a close above this, then we could see some further downside. Again, this is Bitcoin's chart, but again guys, I really want to spend a lot of time in this video talking about altcoins. So currently we're below that 92, which has been a crucial area, but more important is this 8,800, 88 to 87 realistically, but also now we're below the 21-day moving average. So is what we talked about in the last video coming true, where we said this consolidation and tightening of these EMA ribbons here on this daily Bitfinex chart that we have right here? As you can see, a lot of these ribbons are just one now. You see how thick this line is because they've consolidated so much. Is this actually coming true and indicating a big downside move. Now guys, with that being said, we discussed a lot of what I'm doing with alts, about roughly 8 or 9 alts back here on July 13th, but as well we updated on July 14th, and as well today the update is out. If you're interested in following my portfolio and specifically the alts that I'm accumulating, because guys, I'll tell you what, my portfolio is looking chunky right now, and I expect this thing to continue to grow over the next 2 years. I'm looking for at least 150, 200x in my portfolio minimum over the next year and a half, 2 years. Okay guys, clearly I want to maximize my profit as much as possible. I'm here for a lot of reasons. I obviously hate banks. I have a really good life example from about 2 weeks ago that absolutely made me furious. If you go on my Twitter, you can read about it a little bit, but it had to do with banks, and it just reminded me why I hate them so much. So obviously I'm here for a lot of things: technology, getting away from centralization, but as well, I would be lying if I say I didn't want to make a ton of money. And guys, realistically, I think all of you are here to make mucho gracias dollar bills here, right? Or not dollar bills, but cryptocurrency bills, right? We want to make massive gainers. That's why we're all here. And when you spend, 3 to 6 hours every single day for the past 3 years, like I've been doing here, guys, and many of you are as well, you get very in tune with the market and very in tune with investing. And realistically, this is all I think about at this point. I literally have no hobbies. I essentially don't do anything except follow the cryptocurrency market. I like eating. I sleep maybe like 6 hours a night. But realistically, all of my time goes into researching the market, following people that I also think are influential and smart and make good investments, and learning from them as well. But basically my life for the past 3 years, and specifically the past year and a half, has become just basically being a crypto sponge, where I just try to absorb as much information in this space as possible. Because, I hate to say it, but money is probably one of the most important things in the world, and this is an opportunity to make money and to become a lot more financially able than you'll ever have in your life. Again, this is probably one of the best opportunities, in my opinion. I could be absolutely wrong, but the best opportunities in your life to really get a financial edge in so many different ways. But yeah, for sure, the gainers are there, guys. I'm so excited for the end of this year, but specifically 2021. Everybody is counting on this to be the biggest year in history for cryptocurrency. And even if it's not, it doesn't even have to be. Even if it's, a fraction of one of these last bull cycles, I will still be ecstatic, because guys, those are still massive gainers. And particularly if you're invested in the right projects, you will maximize and be more than set. You'll be more prepared and more rewarded and ecstatic with your portfolio growth than you probably ever could have imagined. Wow. So guys, with that being said, we're going to get a lot more into altcoins and TA, but I want to talk about this article published on Forbes by Billy Bambro. Interest in Bitcoin and other cryptos, including Ethereum, is booming, fueled by unprecedented central bank stimulus measures and rocketing demand for alt finance. They talk about Ethereum here. I'm going to skip through a little bit. Ethereum's active address count has increased 118%, and Bitcoin's only increased about 50%. And this is because the level of development on Ethereum is insane, right? Initial coin offerings, stablecoins, non-fungible tokens, decentralized exchanges, other decentralized finance applications, Web3 use cases. However, Ryan Selkis, chief executive here, says Bitcoin remains the industry dominant asset and most important project. I'm not denying that. I'm not at all trying to say Ethereum is more important than Bitcoin. That's not what I'm saying. However, it would be silly to dismiss Ethereum's influence and what it's doing and what its capabilities are and its potential to make you massive gains as well. So for example, it actually comes down here and talks about Chainlink. It's been boosted by a surge in DeFi interest, where people can use Bitcoin and crypto technology to recreate traditional financial instruments such as loans and insurance, which that specifically is what frustrated me 2 weeks ago. I said at the beginning of the video that banks really frustrated me about 2 weeks ago. This is exactly what it was about. So obviously as well, DeFi is very interesting to me. The gains are really interesting, and I am profiting a lot from the gains currently, but as well, it has a real world use application for me specifically. So believe me, I'm 100% on board with this. Chainlink up 1,000% around the last year, hitting fresh all-time highs, guys, absolutely huge. And guys, DeFi being found as one of the biggest drivers of Ethereum growth in recent months, with DeFi applications accounting for 97% of all decentralized app volume on Ethereum. And as well, before we get back into these altcoins specifically and the TA, I want to mention this was published on Cointelegraph by Joseph Young. He goes into amazing stuff. I mean, it's stuff we've already covered as well, so I'm not going to spend any time covering it again. But the main thing I want to do at the very end is cover these external variables, which I get at least 1 or 2 comments every day about it, even though I try to address it every few days. And this is external variables to Bitcoin's price. The main thing I want to say here is I would go all in with what I want to invest if these external variables weren't on my mind. I have about 50% of my portfolio in crypto, so again, not a small amount, but I would be willing to probably go 60 to 75% if I was comfortable with this last variable here, and it's just these external variables such as the global economy. External market forces such as systemic uncertainty and unknown correlations with traditional markets may prevent Bitcoin from breaking out very soon, but signals remain strong nonetheless. As of the middle of July, technical indicators suggest the US stock market rally is overheated. If equities drop, considering the recent correlation with Bitcoin and equities, Bitcoin could become more vulnerable to a correction here, and as well, a pullback in the stock market could cause the appetite for risk on assets to drop. And guys, basically what this means is that with all the money printing that's gone over the past few months, with the virus in the world, with everything that's going on with that, there is uncertainty. And I think the only thing that could happen that might put a wrench in crypto's rally is just what's going on in the world, meaning the global economy. I don't have to go through it. I'm sure you live through it every single day like I do. You're probably tired of hearing about it. But again, that is a real concern, and that's basically the only thing that I'm a little hesitant on when it comes to investing in general right now. Now guys, with that being said, I think the Bitcoin dominance is going to continue to increase like we saw at the very end of 2016, beginning of 2017. We saw Bitcoin dominance go from over 85% to basically half of that, around 40%. Okay, and that was during the massive alt rally of the summer of 2017 going into the beginning of 2018. And then towards the middle of 2018, we actually picked up a lot back. Bitcoin went back above 50 when it was actually all the way down at 30%. But again, with this coming cycle, I think we're going to see something similar. I don't think we're going to see Bitcoin all of a sudden jump back up to 80 and 90% dominance. I think dominance will continue to wane as people get more and more interested in projects. But with that being said, I think only a select few, maybe less than 3 or less than 5, will take up a significant portion of the market. As you can see here, this white line, the second highest, besides the yellow line, which is Bitcoin, this white line represents every other coin except the top 10 coins. So basically what I'm saying is I don't think that necessarily is going to increase. I think it could be limited to maybe 3 or 5 altcoins taking up a more dominant share. But what that also means is that the potential on just a few select amount of altcoins is absolutely sky high, absolute moonshot possibility. That's what I'm sticking to. I 100% think that's the case. Obviously, guys, Bitcoin is number 1. I think it will be. But will Ethereum be number 2 forever? Will XRP be in the top 5 forever? I'm not sure, and I think there will be a switch, guys. Over, every few years we do see a big change in the top 10, top 15, 20. And again, I think that's a pattern that will continue. Obviously, I think Bitcoin will remain number 1. But again, you want to watch out, and if you can actually capture some of those coins that shift into the top 5 even, that is absolutely massive, okay? So much room for profit there. And now I want to cover this briefly before we finish off the episode with the TA and the altcoins. Twitter hack proves Bitcoin is still only good for one thing, crime. The reason I want to cover this, guys, is because I want to kind of deny some of this. I think basically what the article is saying, I agree with this in the sense that this is probably not great exposure for Bitcoin. Technically any publicity is good publicity. But at the same time, I think most people have heard of Bitcoin, and this I'm just not sure is a great thing to see. Obviously, this was not bad on Bitcoin's part at all. Twitter is what messed up. Bitcoin didn't mess up. Bitcoin didn't scam people. Twitter had a flaw, a vulnerability, whatever it is, they're still trying to figure that out. And the one thing they wanted was Bitcoin, okay? So if anything, that's a compliment. He actually specifically references that here about somebody who hacked the most important social platform in the world only wants Bitcoin, has that for a headline. He's kind of saying that that's not a good thing. But again, more importantly, the main reason I want to bring this up, Bitcoin is obviously very useful, and if things are useful, they're going to be used in crime, period. That doesn't mean they're only used for crime. And the second thing, guys, I just want to highlight again, never send your Bitcoin to somebody in the hopes you'll get double back. It has never happened. Everybody that's ever sent Bitcoin in the hopes of getting double back has always been left disappointed, has always been scammed out of their money. And really, that's just based on greed anyway. You see that and you think, oh wow, I can double my Bitcoin here very quickly. What that is greed. That's what makes you want to do it. Don't be greedy, and definitely just don't believe that. The one thing that I think is really good that comes out of this is that now people are extremely aware of a scam of sending Bitcoin and getting double back. Because this is going on YouTube. It's been going on for months. It's been going on YouTube ads as of recently, as of the past few weeks. And now it just went on the biggest platform in the world with some of the biggest celebrities, the biggest icons in the world, former presidents, massive celebrities, guys. Now everybody's been exposed to this scam. So hopefully this actually stops the scam. Because now people are aware, oh, okay, if I send my Bitcoin to this guy, I actually won't get double back. Okay, so if anything good came out of this, maybe it's that. Maybe people actually won't send their Bitcoin because they'll realize, oh, this is just a really big scam. So in that sense, I think the people who did the hacking yesterday might have messed up a little bit. They could have maximized their profit. I saw people talking about that a lot. You know, if they could maybe pump an exchange or pump in a coin or something like that, or short a coin by putting out some FUD or something like that. In the long term, this could end up being very good for Bitcoin because now people are aware, most likely, this was really good advertising about this scam. Now everybody knows about this scam, about sending Bitcoin and getting double back. It's not real. You're going to get scammed. So that's really good. I think that's the best thing to come out of yesterday. But yeah, guys, basically when it comes to altcoins, what I want to cover here, Ethereum, Bitcoin pairing right here. This is huge. So this is Ethereum paired with Bitcoin. You see, for the past 4 months, it has been in this ascending triangle. And as you can see, just today, we came down and found support right at the bottom, around 2.5%, guys. This is huge. I think this pattern is going to break upside very soon. So keep that in mind. And I think this is exactly what could initiate this rally for altcoins and for crypto in general. I think altcoins could actually be the ones that initiate this massive cycle, and Bitcoin could end up following as altcoins are up 20, 30, 50%, as we've already seen that kind of happen. All right, I want to cover Link here as well, doing extremely well, finding support above this 8.2. I could see us rallying all the way up to $14 in the short term. Okay, this is absolutely very interesting to watch. Link now accounts for about 30% of my entire altcoin portfolio because of how much gains it's gotten. XTZ is actually in my top 3 as well in terms of how much I own. Guys, XTZ is primed as well for a burst. Definitely check that out. And there's some other coins I'm watching. Obviously, I'm interested in OXT. Nano looks primed as well, in my opinion, to break out, guys. And we're still watching this Digibyte pairing with Bitcoin. Huge. And as well, we cover other ones that we don't cover every day, just smaller coins in the updates here on T4. Okay, update is posted now, so make sure to go over if you're already in T4 and check out the July 16th, 2020, because that's where a lot of altcoin information and trading information is in there as well. And guys, as well, if you're interested in getting in, we are still doing that sale 20% off with the coupon code Platinum at checkout. A lot of you guys have been joining, been getting some great feedback, guys. It's awesome. We have a lot of stuff in there, honestly, at this point anyway. So there's just a lot of stuff. Whatever you're trying to learn, trading, learning technical analysis, learning about altcoins, my entire portfolio is in this as well. So we just have a bunch of information in here. And again, we've continued to grow it. It's been up for about 4 months now. So obviously there is a fair amount of information, and I only put in what I think is valuable. As you can see, the videos on average are about 5 to 7 minutes. I don't beef up these videos at all like I do on YouTube to hit the algorithm. These are just more packed on, basically what they're about. It's just information and content specifically, just cut to the chase of what the content is. So guys, huge. If you want to get that ledger, this is your last day as well. Make sure to enter for this ledger. Just drop your comment, like, subscribe below. And if you're interested in getting Chainlink or Tezos as well, you can use the Crypto.com app. If you sign up with that link, you and I both receive $50 free of MCO when you stake and complete registration. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.